And I mean, really going on to leadership. I mean, obviously, you're somewhat kind of new into this particular position with Porsche, but I mean, have you kind of brought in any new leadership techniques or philosophies that you feel have served you well and it's inspired success? Or?
Yeah, so for me, leadership, being a leader and inspiring staff, I think it's about four things. So the first thing and the most important characteristic, I think, is radical transparency. And I use the word radical purposely because I think a lot of people talk about being transparent, and maybe they aspire to be transparent. They know that that's a positive characteristic that people like to see, but they don't necessarily represent or role model transparency in its truest form. And I think if you're trying to build trust with people, if you're trying to motivate people, inspire people, drive success, I think you need to be radically transparent. I think you need to trust your people with all of the information that you have and empower them to deliver the best possible results. And I think the more transparent you are with people, the better able they are to use that information to make the best possible decisions and to achieve your shared goals. The second thing I would say is making certain that you set aspirational objectives. So I think it's very important that people know what the North Star is that you're aiming for, what the target is, and certainly those can be revised over time. But I think you do need to set you need to have a set of aspirational objectives up front in order to focus people's attention and to give them something to aim for. I think third is clear communication. So making certain that you communicate clearly at all times, not only what your expectations are, but what the status of things are, what gaps exist, what opportunities exist that people need to be going after, and how they should be going after it. And also clear communication within the team is equally important because making certain that everybody understands what the other is doing and that they know how best to leverage each other in order to achieve those goals or outcomes. And then the fourth thing I would say is continuous engagement. I think it's very important to continuously engage each and every person on the team. And it's to me, continuous engagement goes hand in hand with the point around transparency. I think, if you are engaging people throughout and you are staying close to what's top of mind for them, they know what's top of mind for you, you are best able to ensure that everybody is focused on the right outcomes and working together in the most optimal way to achieve them.
That's a fantastic answer. Thank you very much. I mean, I've noticed, with your answer just now, there's actually just been some bleed over into question 3 with regard to adhering to philosophies and whatnot. I mean, is there anything else you'd like to add to that, or are you happy with the answer provided already?
So I actually would distinguish between the two. To me, the points I made are more around, how do you lead and inspire people? I think specifically around the philosophy or strategy to achieve success, which I think is more tactical. I would say there are a few things I would offer. One is making certain you continuously reevaluate your mindset or position given new information. For me, this is something that has rung true time and again throughout my professional career and really throughout my life. I think when one is overly fixed on a certain mindset or a certain position and they don't deviate from that, I think you create blind spots for yourself, and I think you make it difficult to achieve that success that you so want. The second thing I would say is flexibility over rigidity. I think sometimes people tend to be very focused on what the rules are, what the precedent is, or what others have done, and they use that to inform or box themselves into how they feel like they can achieve success. I think being flexible and not being rigid is important. Third is focusing on insights and impact. So making certain that you understand, especially in this industry, in the consulting industry, where you are advising others on how best to react to certain conditions or preempt others or achieve things that haven't yet been done before. I think it's very much, it's critically important to focus on the insights and the impact that you can generate or that you see that someone else may not see, in order to get them to think differently, to get them to be flexible, to get them to reevaluate their position. The next point I would say is it's important to have a fusion of empowerment and accountability. I think people need to feel empowered to achieve things on their own and to be given the authority and the independence and the responsibility to achieve a certain set of objectives, but they also need to be held accountable to achieving them. And then finally, I would say speed and agility is critically important over endless iteration, because if you can't act with speed and agility and check things off your list and move on to the next thing, and instead you're bogged down in endless iteration, you become a laggard instead of a leader, and you're not able to achieve things more quickly than your peer set.